2024 is not starting off good for Trump, at least legally. He has an iron grip on the GOP, of course, but he is being ordered by the court and the jury to pay $83 million for defaming columnist E. Jean Carroll. This is being reported by NPR. We can go ahead down here and check out the article. A New York jury on Friday ordered former President Donald Trump to pay a total of $83.3 million to E. Jean Carroll for ruining her credibility as an advice columnist when he called her a liar after she accused him of sexual assault. Now, keep in mind, Donald Trump was also found civilly liable in that case, different than criminally liable, but still liable, and that is going to be on his record. But as we go down further here, the jury awarded Carroll $65 million in punitive damages, $11 million for the damage to her reputation, and another $7.3 million. Trump is almost certain to appeal the final verdict, which of course he will. It's Donald Trump. Despite the size of the penalty, the verdict was not unexpected. Judge Lewis Kaplan ruled even before the trial that Trump had in fact defamed Carroll. I mean, it was very obvious from the start, giving all the evidence. Now, keep in mind, even when Trump was doing this in the sexual assault case, one of my favorite parts, I'm not sure if they're going to mention it in the article here. I forgot if they did or not. I read through it once, but I kind of forgot if they did or not. But nonetheless, my favorite part was when they brought Trump in and they had a picture of his wife and E. Jean Carroll, because Donald Trump was doing this entire bit where he was like, I'm not even into women like her. She's not even my type, folks. Not even my type, folks. So they brought in a picture of E. Jean Carroll and his wife at the time. Donald Trump couldn't tell the difference. He looked at both the picture and he was like, that's my wife right there. Yeah. That right there. She's very lovely. Very lovely. And they were like, sir, with tears in their eyes, by the way, with tears in their eyes, they said, sir, that's E. Jean Carroll. And he was like, oh, okay. Never mind then, folks. I was just testing everybody, making sure that they were paying attention. All right. So, just obviously laughable from Donald Trump, but let's go ahead and continue. I don't want to get on a tangent here. In response, the Trump 2024, yeah. I was right there. I forgot where I was at the beginning. In response, the Trump 2024 campaign issued a statement arguing, without offering evidence, that the trial is a political weapon, which is what Republicans have been saying. But it's not going to work in this case for Donald Trump. He's still, being found responsible. Absolutely ridiculous, the statement said. I fully disagree with both verdicts and will be appealing this whole Biden-directed witch hunt focused on me and the Republican Party. The jury's decision comes just days before Trump won the New Hampshire primary and became the GOP frontrunner, which was expected, really. The case is one of several involving Trump, who is also awaiting a verdict in a civil trial that could result in him paying at least $250 million to New York State for his business practices, which have been deemed by a judge to be fraudulent. He could also be prohibited from doing business in the state where he made his name in real estate mogul. In all, Donald Trump faces 91 criminal charges in federal and state trials, ranging from the ones in New York to those at a federal level related to the Jan 6 Capitol riot. Now, if you don't know, we'll look about this specific case as it is in this NPR article here. In 2019, Carroll, an advice columnist and freelance writer, accused Trump of sexually assaulting her in the 90s. The accusation, which was detailed in her book, which first previewed in a New York Magazine article. After the article's publication, Trump issued two statements in response to reporters, including one in which he outright denied her claim and said she was not my type. And that is what I was telling you guys earlier about the whole two pictures of Eugene Carroll and his former wife. Carroll then sued Trump for defamation, arguing that his comments ruined her reputation as a trusted source in the media and resulted in a slew of insults and threatening messages, emails, and comments to her social media accounts. And just to briefly touch on what was showed at the testimony, Carroll herself was the first witness to take a stand, putting her face to face with Trump, who attended the first few days of the trial. While she used to receive hundreds of emails asking for advice to her column email, she said she now received fewer than 10 a month. Instead, she said she received threats and insults. Carroll's lawyer showed the jury several social media posts, messages, and emails sent to Carroll in the following days after Trump's statements. I sued to get my reputation back, Carroll said, which, I mean, this is not too surprising if you know how the MAGA crowd and general these Trump supporters act. They've been known for doing these type of things. If you have been looking at politics for a while now, people like the Squad, AOC, is a main target of these harassments. Ilhan Omar was a major target of these harassments, getting numerous death threats, people cursing her out. Of course, you get the racist statements thrown towards her. And yeah, it's completely believable. It is not even remotely surprising that she wins this case. Now, of course, Donald Trump also doubled down here, as we can see in the yellow that I outlined. After weeks of vowing to take the witness stand in his defense, Trump finally did so on January 25th, but it was short-lived, only a few minutes. In the testimony, he said he 100% stood by his previous deposition. Asked by his lawyer if he ever instructed anyone to hurt Carroll, Trump said that he didn't and just wanted to defend himself, his family, and his presidency. Typical Donald Trump stuff, but he lost. And ultimately, as the headline says, he has to pay out $83 million. Now, I also want to quickly touch on his response, because he has to go to Truth Central, as he calls it sometimes, even though it's called Truth Social. But anyways, here we go. Here's Donald Trump being Donald Trump here. I'm going to go ahead and give it a go right here. Here we go. Absolutely ridiculous. I fully disagree with both verdicts and will be appealing to the whole Biden-directed witch hunt focused on me and the Republican Party. I feel like I'm not doing a good job, but we're going to do it anyways. Our legal system is out of control and being used as a political weapon. They have taken away all First Amendment rights. This is not America, folks. Believe it. And here is one more from Agent Orange. There is no longer justice in America. Our judicial system is broken and unfair, people. Unfair. Now, at the end of the day, the people who are going to be paying this, more likely than not, is Donald Trump, obviously, but even to some extent his supporters, because we know Donald Trump has a history of using donor money to pay for his personal legal bills. So, here's just an example here. This was back in February 21st. Rolling Stone article. Donald Trump spent $10 million of his Political Action Committee PAC money to pay for his personal legal bills in 2022, the New York Times reported on Tuesday. The Times notes Trump Save America PAC spent $16 million total on legal payments, and that although some of that money went to lawyers representing Trump's allies, the majority of it went to lawyers representing Trump himself, as the former president has fought a variety of investigations. The $10 million figure represents nearly 20% of the PAC's total expenditures. So, Donald Trump is going to be out at least $83 million. And that is a lot of money for anybody, no matter how rich you are. You don't want to lose $83 million. And, you kind of wonder, how much is he going to skim off the top of his supporters? Because for whatever reason, his supporters are still cult-like. more cult like than ever, I would say, at this point, because to be a hard Trumper at this point, I mean, you're essentially in a cult. But yeah, $83 million gone from the Donald, Agent Orange here, and you kind of wonder how much is he going to just skim off the top of his supporters. And it's another L for Donald Trump. Keep in mind, like I said earlier, like the article said earlier, 91 criminal trials. And yeah, this is the guy who is currently leading the Republican Party, and he has it in a vice grip. Amazing.